about today's pivotal moments. Oh my goodness, I always love these opportunities to have conversations with just so many amazing people. So let's get right into today's conversation. So I have the amazing Jennifer Malone joining the conversation today. I have recently had the honor of meeting Jennifer, and it's just been such an amazing experience. So, of course, as you know, I give just a brief introduction. Jennifer is a business consultant, author, and so many other things. But Jennifer, I'm going to welcome you to the show and turn it over to you to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you have going on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here. I'm very excited to be here. So my name is Jennifer Malone, and I have my hands in so many things, but an overall brief is the fact that I am a business consultant, and what I do is provide business consultation to help those of you who are trying to start a business. I specialize in nonprofit organizations, and my goal is to truly help you through that process.
That is amazing and so necessary, necessary. So, of course, you know, the theme of this show is pivotal moments. So, Jennifer, what pivotal moment are you going to be sharing with us today?
Well, today I'm going to really talk about my transformation. And I was on a transformation journey from the time I was 35 till up until now 45. And it was so important. It was important for me to understand who I was, and it was important for me to understand my purpose here on earth. And when I tell you, I got the answers that I was looking for, I really did. And so I am just excited to share that journey with you guys.
Wow. Well, again, we're so glad to have you. So yes, let's talk about it. Talk about this transformation.
So I went, and we all will go through this. And this is why I'm so excited to share this journey. There was a moment in my life where I said, God, what's going on? Is this it? Is this what a Christian life is about? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Why am I not excited about it? Why do I feel like I'm just going through the motions? What's going on? Why am I here? And it was very important for me to understand that because, you know, we go through life. We sometimes we go through life on autopilot for so long. Everything we do, we get up, we go to work, we come home from work, we cook, we lay down, and it's every day, every single day. And I said in my prayers, there has to be more to my life than this. It has to be. And so I started going, so God started revealing things to me about me. And this is how this journey started. It was a complete journey of me understanding who I was and why I was here and the steps I needed to take to make things better for my life.
Mm. Ooh.
Yes, it's so much. I mean, it was an amazing process for me.
Yeah. And you know, when we talk about these pivotal moments, right, we always talk about, you know, the fact that a pivotal moment really is that thing that kind of changes things for us, right? But in the process, we tend to learn something about ourselves, about what's important to us. So as you were going through this transformation and things were being revealed to you, what would you say you learned from this moment, from this journey?
Well, let me mention the pivotal change that happened with me. One of the things I discovered, not just my strengths, what I love, what the amazing qualities about me, I also learned about the things that were hurting me, the things that were holding me back, trauma situations that happened in my life that I had not paid attention to, that I carried over into as an adult. One of the moments that I learned was trigger words. I discovered that there were trigger words that people would say in my life that would cause me to do things. And as I started learning that, it was hard to deal with that because I had always been a person that says, I don't care about what people think. But in reality, I did. And not only did I care, it was causing me to do things to show and to prove to them. And I do want to share this real quick instance. God had me, he told me to write down all my accomplishments. Started writing them down, write everything I've done up until this certain age. I've finished a book. I'm a publisher. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I've done that. And then he said, now cross off anything that you've done because somebody told you couldn't do it. Cross it off. If you were trying to prove to someone that you can do it, cross it off. When I got finished, everything was crossed off my list. I went through a state of depression because I felt like I hadn't done anything for myself in this whole span of my life. The things that I was using to brag about who I was not really who I was. I was doing all these things, even writing to show people I can do it. And so I had to cross these things off. And what he revealed to me was, now that you have a clean slate, now I can work with that clean slate. And this process, I mean, just uncovering things about me, learning my trigger words. So when someone say you're worthless, when I hear those words, how do I respond to that? And for me, it was, I'm going to show you. And I would create a whole business just to show you that I could do it. And so this was something I had to accept. And I had to figure out how to work through that. How to not respond when somebody said you are nobody, to have the strength to say, it's whatever you say, I'm moving on with my life, but really having that strength. But when you don't know you're doing this and you're going through this process, I mean, it was something else, but it was a changing point in my life of saying, Jennifer, you have to figure out how you're going to deal with this, because while I'm transforming, it doesn't mean the world is going to transform with me. So how do you respond to that? And how do you continue to navigate in those spaces, in those circles, in those churches where people are still going to do those same things, but you have to be in a space to know, Jennifer, I'm not going to create a whole business to prove to you that I can do something.
Jennifer, that is so powerful. And, I know as people are tuned into this, whether they're watching it, whether they're listening, I know that so many people are going to say, that's been my life.
Yes.
That's been me. And that's what's so powerful about what you're saying, because it's so true. We can have a long list of accomplishments, but still feel empty,
yes.
Still feel bad, still feel not worthy. And it goes back to, what is the why behind it? Oh my goodness, that is powerful. Now let's talk about adjustments though. What would you say were some of the adjustments in this process that you had to learn to make?
Well, one of the things within this process, and I'm writing about this, so I want to make sure people can understand this, because we all are going to go through this. One of the things I had to do was own my faults. And sometimes it's hard to say, well, Jennifer, you aren't that important, or Jennifer, you did drop the ball in that moment. Being honest with myself and learning that when you're honest with yourself, it's easier to work with honesty than work with a lie. When you work with a lie, when you continue to lie about who you are, all you're doing is building up all this trauma, and then it makes the layers to cut it down a lot harder. And so I had to accept honesty and say, no, I'm not perfect in this area. And so when I started accepting who I truly was, the negative and the positive, it made it a lot easier for me to say, okay, we can fix this. We can fix this. The way you respond to people, how do we fix that? It can be fixed. And so that was the process I had to go through. Another thing that really helped in this process was wearing masks. And we all wear masks, and we don't do it on purpose sometimes. In the negative form, yes, we will wear masks to hide. But wearing masks is our way of protecting ourselves. depending on where we are, we put on masks, we show up when we don't feel good. And so I had on all these different masks. I was, when I go to church, there's a mask. When I go to work, there's a mask. When I come home and I'm with my husband, there's a mask. It's different masks. And this is how I operated day to day. And what God was telling me was, you got to have one face. I can't talk. I got to talk to the real Jennifer Malone. I can't talk to the mask that you put on because it's not you. And so just learning, just taking the assignment of, how do I act the same way I act at home, at work? And it doesn't mean I act, it's how I talk, how I respond to people. It's when people say something to me and I say, no, that's not okay. You cannot say that to me. Being outspoken about how I feel and how people are making me feel, and just trying to accept that. And for me, that was one of those moments where I had to say, okay, this is going to work for me. This is going to work. Being honest with myself, this is going to work for me.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's just so much that it's making me think about, because it's so true. We wear all these different masks and then we wonder, why we feel so heavy.
Yes.
We wonder why we feel so drained and mad at people, and they don't know why, because they might be experiencing, this particular mask, and we still carry it from the other mask.
Yes. It was heavy.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, Jennifer, as we start to kind of come to the end of this conversation, these are always just so short and sweet. Yes. But I like that, because that means people are going to go to Jennifer, find out more about her story, read her books. Right?
Absolutely.
If you could leave one thing with our listeners, right? If they didn't get anything else from this conversation, what do you want to say directly to them?
I want to tell you, don't stop asking why. One of the things, as a little girl, I was a why person. Every time everybody asked me to do something or something is being said, I always ask why. And I got in trouble a lot from doing that. Becoming an adult, it helped me through a lot of things because I always wanted to know why. It was my way of learning. And this was how I was, as I got older, when I started understanding the different ways that you learn, asking why was one of my ways. So I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. I was actually doing something that was leading me closer to my purpose and who I was. For anyone that's listening, we all are going to go have a moment where we go and we go through a transformation where we're asking questions and we're saying, something doesn't feel right about me. My word of encouragement to you is go through it, pray about it, but go through this transformation. Listen to what your body is saying to you. Listen to what the Holy Spirit is saying to you and follow through with it, because the end result of my journey was God revealing to me why I was put on this earth. And ever since that was revealed to me, September 2018, I've been walking in what nothing else mattered. I've been walking in what God has called me to be. And it has made so much sense to me. And when I connect with people and we have these conversations, I say, yep, this is why I had to go through that. So my words of encouragement, go through it, seek out, ask questions. Things don't seem right. Ask the questions. There's nothing wrong with that.
Good stuff. Okay. Well, of course, we'll have all your information in the show notes, but go ahead and let our listeners know, our viewers know, where can they find you? What do you have coming next? How can they get to you? Because I don't want them to blow me up. So tell them how they can get to you.
So I do have a website, and please write it down. It's jennifermmalone.com. Right now, I am changing a lot of things over, but have that website. I am currently working on a book, and it's called When Life Gives You Lemons, Take a Nap. And I want everyone to read this book because it's going to change your life, and it's going to make things make sense in the journey and in the space that God has for you. So you guys can find me. I'm on Facebook, Jennifer M. Malone. You can find me on Facebook. I'm part of Leaders Group. So please just connect with me. Just connect with me.
Wow, y'all heard it. I can't wait to get that book. Listen, I already have her the book, y'all, the business journal. It's yeah, oh yeah. Well, my listeners won't see it, but my the viewers will see. Like,
yes.
I love that business journal, y'all. I'm telling you. So definitely check her out. Of course, if you go to my website, to the virtual book store, her link is there to get the book. But of course, you can go that route. You can go through her social media. You can go through Amazon, I believe,
yes,
right?
You
can find her anywhere. So get that book. Follow Jennifer. And Jennifer, I am just, as I mentioned, I'm just so honored to have met you, to have connected with you. I feel empowered every single time we connect. And I'm just super excited for all the things that you have coming next.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm just so happy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, of course, thank you for joining the conversation today. To those that continue to listen, to watch, to follow Pivotal Moments, and follow me and all the different parts of my journey, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Pivotal Moments with Lita.
Thank you.